What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dave Wallace and I'm here to help you win with money so you can build your wealth. I'm excited to dive into the 5 lies that I believe keep people in debt. Going into debt has become as normal as brushing your teeth before you jump in bed at night. It shouldn't be at all, because it robs you of your peace of mind. There is no doubt that our culture is a hustle culture. Fast cars, fast life, more, take, more money. And you see this all over. There is a certain level of achievement that all of us want to have in our life. But the truth of all of this is there is a finite amount of time in our lives, and there's an unlimited amount of money. So when it really comes down to it at the end, we will have needed to maximize the amount of time in our life, and we will not necessarily have needed to maximize the amount of money in our life beyond the point at which it provides us with the autonomy to have time freedom. So without further ado, let's dive into the 5 must-know lies that keep people in debt. And stick around, because I really think you're going to want to hear number 5, which I think is the number 1 lie that keeps the majority of people stuck in the debt trap. Lie number 1. Debt is normal or even useful. Creditors would love for consumers to believe this lie, but it's simply not true. You need good money habits to have a good financial future and to have financial stability, not good credit. Good credit is a means to save money. No one ever got rich off of good credit. Several people have saved money with good credit, have built businesses off of good credit, but the majority of folks just saved a little bit of money with good credit. As a financial coach, I usually see good credit really just as a tool to save, and I've seen far more people ruin their financial lives with credit than I have seen folks really significantly build wealth with credit. Credit is not a wealth building tool. It is a tool really just to save a little bit of cash. The tool to build wealth is investing and saving. I do believe that this is a big lie, and I believe that it is promulgated primarily by creditors that want to keep consumers in debt so that they make money off interest and fees. So don't buy the lie. The lie stops here today, right now. Number 2, I have lots of time to change my situation. My friend, this is a lie. The majority of wealth that is built over time. You see, time in the market beats timing the market. And what I mean by that is every dollar on average that is invested at the age of 20 turns into $88 by the age of 60, which is retirement age. Therefore, the majority of folks that would have invested the average of, let's say, a $700 car payment, which is currently the average car payment in America as we sit here right now when I'm making this video. If that $700 car payment was invested right now in the market, that would net out by retirement age to be over $4 million after compounding interest. So that is the power, my friends, of compounding interest, and the true offset to choosing to have a fancy car versus build wealth and invest for the future. Use that as some food for thought and think about that a little bit as you're thinking through your own financial situation, and maybe that would change your thinking a little bit on that. But again, don't buy that lie. That is a cheap tactic of folks that want to see you struggling later on in life. Number 3, building wealth isn't worth the trouble. Sometimes it's about making more money, and sometimes it's about spending less. The equation for building wealth is earning more than you spend. We all know that. That's sort of the golden rule of personal finance. But here's the real predicament that I think all of us as humans should think through. Time is limited, meaning there's a finite amount of time that we all have as humans on this earth. Money is unlimited. So what I mean by that is time is greater than money in terms of value to us. So the biggest struggle that I see with folks, or I should say, the biggest issue that I see with folks who struggle with money is that they value money more than time. And so what happens is they really subconsciously don't value money because it's unlimited, although they don't really consciously realize that. So I would challenge you to flip the script on this a little bit and say, I want to be able to control my time. And if you want to be able to control your time, then the best way to do that is to get financially independent so that you can control your own time. And the best way to do that is to get financially stable. When you get financially stable, then you will be able to control your own time, my friend, and you will have what is called time freedom. And when you own your own time, you are independent and you control your own life. And there is no better gift that you can have than that. And that is why I say it is totally worth it to you. So don't buy the lie. The time freedom is worth it, and the time freedom comes right on the back end of your financial freedom. Number 4, I can't afford my lifestyle without debt. A lot of people borrow from their future self to pay for things that they will end up forgetting within just a few short months, or will end up in a Goodwill, or will end up online within just a few short months, or they will end up regretting later on. If you can't afford to pay cash for it, you can't afford it. I know that sounds harsh, but that is the reality of personal finance. If you don't have cash for it, you don't have the ability to buy it. This fundamental concept has been lost in the world that we live in today. This is why the world that we live in is going so deeply into debt, and things are spinning out of control at such a rapid rate. I truly believe that. People believe that debt is normal. Debt is not normal. That stressed out feeling, that feeling when you go to lay down and your head hits the pillow and you feel like you're spinning out of control when you look at your bank account and you see that you're going paycheck to paycheck, or that you're running close and that you might not be able to make your payments, that is not a healthy feeling. That is not a healthy place to be. And I've been there before. So I want you to know I'm not speaking at you. I'm speaking of someone who has been more than $100,000 in debt and nearly lost my first startup company after leaving a six-figure corporate banking job that was very cushy, that I was very comfortable in. So after leaving a dream job, I nearly crashed and burned my whole financial picture. I had to sell basically everything. So I've been there. I've been where you're at. I've had spending challenges, and I can tell you that the only way out of it is to really shift your mindset away from valuing money and shift it to valuing your time. Because when you focus on looking at everything that you spend as a function of how much time it takes away from your life, by calculating literally how much time it will take by looking at the dollar value of how much time it's going to cost you, that changes everything. And number 5, debt isn't really a big deal. Debt is a huge deal. Here's the thing again. Debt causes a tremendous amount of stress. Recent research has proven that 70+% of Americans say that financial stress is of the worst variety. The second leading cause of divorce in America is related to finances. Debt is a big deal. Finances are a big deal. And so it is a huge deal. So please don't kid yourself in thinking that financial stress is not a major driver and impact on your life, because it absolutely is. As I alluded to before, going into debt is the fool's way to buy things, the keeping up with the Joneses way, the most expensive and silly way to go about doing things. And that, my friend, is hustling backwards. If you're doing that, you are in the pockets of lenders, you're in the pockets of banks, and you are enriching everyone but yourself. And so I beg you to reconsider, to look at your future, and to value your future time over money, and say, I'm going to put my foot down here, I'm going to come up with a plan, and I'm going to take baby steps here to live within my means, meaning I'm going to spend less than I earn, and I'm going to save money, hopefully 20% of what you earn, and change your financial situation, focus on discipline, and your future self will say thank you. Again, don't buy the lie. It is absolutely worth it, and your time freedom in the end is going to be worth way more than any of these money situations that are going on now, I promise you. Saying that debt is not a big deal is a huge understatement. Now, that is not even considering the stress, the peace of mind that is robbed from debt. That is not talking about the relational strain that comes from debt being the second leading cause of divorce in America. That is not talking about the surveys that say that finances are a concern of more than 70% of Americans. If time freedom is your most valuable asset in this world, then financial freedom is possibly your stepping stone to achieving that time freedom. Because once you achieve financial freedom, then you will actually have the freedom to be able to pursue time freedom, which will allow you to control your own time and do as you wish with your time. So I realize this is a tricky subject to comment about yourself. So maybe comment on behalf of a friend, what financial trap have either you or a friend had to avoid that you have found the trickiest to get out of? Comment below. I hope you found value in today's video. If you did, go ahead, smash that like button, hit the subscribe for all the financial tips, tricks, and motivation to win with money. Until next time.